Welcome back to After the Whistle, and I'm here joined by NDHSAA's Matt Fetsch, who's always joining me on this show. And of course, this is a good opportunity to talk with you about the new and upcoming year. Matt, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, appreciate the invite. Always good to visit, Phil.
Certainly, a new year welcomes in some new opportunities and some new fun things coming into High School Activities Association and all the kids that are involved. With every new year, what is it like kind of stepping back into the fray and getting a new year started?
Well, I think like anything, like with the new school year, you hope everyone's re-energized and hopefully had some time over the summer to regroup or whatever they need to. This year, we, with our calendar, our fall sports really work from Thanksgiving backwards is kind of how our calendar works. And the way it works this year, we have the earliest possible start date we can ever have for football in particular. And a lot of people say, boy, it seems like it's starting earlier this year. And really, that's the reason why. So that calendar will roll back a week next year on the football side. And as Thanksgiving rolls back. So that's something that, a comment over the summer, maybe a little bit here and there, but the reality is, regardless of that first practice date, everyone's ready to go and ready to get out there. And this year's no different.
I'm sure the early date, some coaches are enjoying it, especially on the football side, and that's exciting. With football, obviously the renaming of the classifications, we're still getting used to it, but I get a sense that this is a little less confusing than it was over the past few years. I know it's a small change, but I'm sure it's a welcome change for most.
I think so. Yeah, it's really doesn't change a whole legend. For a generation, it was AAA, AA, and A in the 11-man, and then 9-man. We had a couple of years of Class A 11-man, Class B 11-man, and so on. And yeah, I think it just a little cleaner for everyone. So that's something that a change the board made this year, along with a few other adjustments moving forward that'll have more to do with reclassification and potentially teams moving around that'll probably be impacted a little more in the 24 season than they are here in 23.
I did notice, obviously, with some of the regions, we go away with some of the smaller regions and we're creating bigger regions. I think that creates opportunities for, the best teams to get in the playoffs. Is that kind of what the intention was, to move to these bigger regions and kind of knock out these little divisions that were, especially in the 9-man level, especially?
Yeah, I think when you look region-wise, and that's something that's been unique to football forever, is it really comes down to scheduling. And the bigger the region is, if you can attend region, that's probably ideal because you have your 9 games scheduled for you and you get out and play. Every game counts. And that's something the football committee and the board over the past few years really, whether it's QRF for seeding or whatever it is, really want every game to mean something during the year. And I think they've definitely achieved that here in the last few years. And maybe a byproduct of that is some larger regions, especially in that 9-man, like you mentioned.
Staying with fall sports, I know volleyball has been a topic of discussion, especially now with the momentum that we've had with the 3-class system of basketball. I've heard discussions of potentially 3-class in volleyball. What is the possibility of that? And I know, what could potentially be the future of volleyball moving forward as the sport continues to grow?
Yeah, I think that'll be a very hot topic here throughout the fall. We had a proposal come that 60% or more of member schools supported, looking at a 3-division basketball proposal. Basketball, volleyball. I still have basketball in the mind a little bit there. But the board that very late in June, right before their final meeting. And we actually have a huge turnover on my board of directors. We have 4 of the 11 board members will be new this coming year, which is a bit unique. And so they just said once the new board is settled and in place, they'll dive through that like they did with the basketball proposal last winter. And I would venture to guess one way or another, they'll have official action on that probably, late in the volleyball regular season as they get into scheduling for next year. Take a look at it. And going through the process with basketball, I think the board of directors, it was their procedure and they said, here were some things that worked really well. Here's some things we maybe would have changed as far as the process goes. And, volleyball's going through that now. And I think the biggest takeaway with that is something they felt was pretty important was to have a minimum number of teams before additional classes are added. So, right now, and with the current proposal and the current probably the only other one, that'll seriously be considered here in the near future. And a lot of the other growing sports and activities will need, quite a few more teams before any additional classes are considered. But yeah, I think volleyball definitely is the one that will be talked about a lot here in the next few months.
All right. Matt, I appreciate you joining me for a few moments here on After the Whistle. I want to thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, anytime. Good to see you, Phil.